This week at Outsider Reviews, the 2025 Honda Odyssey. Hey everybody, my name is Pat and I'm just a family man, but also a retired military member that's now doing car reviews. So like and subscribe to support me in getting more vehicles like these and doing just average guy car reviews, right? Not too much emphasize on enthusiasts, but more into what's practical, logical, and value buy. So without further ado, let's get right into this. So funny thing that I realized is, most of the SUVs have moved away from that traditional V6, but minivans for some reason still have them. So minivans have a lot of power, and that's something I found out with the Honda Odyssey. But before I get into that, let's take a look at the physical appearance. So nobody really is gonna buy a minivan, at least this is all my opinion, because they are the most appealing vehicles to look at. It's a functional thing. So it's not something it's not what's on the outside that counts, it's what's on the inside, which is what I keep telling my wife. But it definitely, it looks like a minivan, right? It's not my favorite. I think the Kia Carnival kind of looks the best, but what really is going to matter to you guys is how functional it is. But before I get into that, I am going to bore you with some specs, people. Yes, so I did say it has a V6, so that's a 3.5 liter V6 that puts out 280 horsepower, 262 pounds-feet of torque. If you care to know, it goes 0 to 60 in 6.4 seconds. Really fast, especially for a vehicle this size. Capable of towing 3,500 pounds, got a 10-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy combined is going to be 10.6 liters per 100 kilometers or 22 miles per gallon. Only available in front-wheel drive. Pricing goes from $52,000 Canadian all the way to $62,000. But I do have a sweet spot, which is the Sport L, which goes for $55,000 Canadian, a little bit more easy to swallow. If you're wondering what the trims are, well, you guys in Canada here, we have Sport L, Tour, and Black Edition, which is the one we have today. For the United States, you guys don't have the Sport, you have the EX, and then you got the Sport, and then Touring, and Black Edition. In the US, the price is from $42,000 to $51,000, and the Sport L should be around mid $40,000. So as much as the front is not, the most appealing, Honda still tried to, pop this up with this Black Editions. As you can see right there, we've got black wheels, a little bit more blackness, so it does give it a little bit of attitude to it. Looks nice. I mean, I think those wheels looks pretty nice. We have 19-inch wheels, but what's more important about a minivan is how big it is. That's what you really want to buy it for, right? It doesn't come in all-wheel drive, so that would have been something that I would have liked. I know some minivan manufacturers out there are starting to go that way. Honda, not yet. Hoping to see that soon. And also hoping to see a hybrid version, which I will be doing some comparison with for the likes of the Pacifica from Chrysler and the Toyota Sienna, fan favorites. Where does this compare? I'm going to tell you guys all that information along the way, and I'm going to conclude it at the end as well. What you expect from your minivan is, well, it's going to have approach and departure, so lock and unlock, just to open it, and as well as jerk that little handle and it opens, and then you're going to show you inside everything that matters. But for my little sequence, I'm also going to go in the cargo section. But before I do that, I am going to show you the key fob here. So lots of tools here for everybody. So we got some door openings, we have some trunk openings, and remote start, all in the key fob, which is something I definitely like, and a lot of people are going through the app now, but I appreciate that the Honda has it. So it's a fairly small key fob altogether, fits nicely in your hands, in your pocket. Here we are at the back end. This is where we see the Black Edition trim, Odyssey spelled out in case you're not too sure, Honda badging and stuff. And then you got a couple options of how to open the back end. So you can do the foot swiping, it has that. You have the button over here to open it as well. And fan favorite, the key fob. So you just press and hold and it'll open the back end. Once we are back here, we start to get into stuff that really matters for minivan shoppers, and that is cargo space. 38.6 cubic feet of space behind the third row. That is the most that I've seen in any vehicle that I've reviewed, and it actually stacks up pretty good. It's one of the best ones in cargo space across the class, so across minivans. If you put the third row down, you're looking at 91 cubic feet of space. And then if I put all the seats down, 155 total cargo feet of space. But that's not just it. So everything, so once the third row goes down, so it goes down to this cubby over here, it's fairly easy. So it's not motorized, but it is fairly easy to put them down. You just do it like this, pull, push, not too hard. But then the second row, you can completely remove it, or it also has this patent technology is called the Magic Slide. Funky name, right? So that enables you. So if you're a contractor as well looking for a van, this is a pretty good option, right? 155 cubic feet of space. Remove all the seats and you got completely flat ground. So you can remove pretty much everything, have it completely flat, have a lot of cargo space, or you can actually slide these seats wherever you would like them to be. And it's pretty easy to do so. Now the second row seats are a little bit on the heavier side, but one person can do it. As you can see in this video, I did it myself, and yeah, it wasn't too bad. So that will do it for cargo space. Lots of cargo space, and it ranks amongst the highest in the segment, so it is better than the Sienna, for example. In cargo space, how does it stack up in leg room, which is probably the second most important thing? So you're going on a long road trip, you want to know if your people are going to be comfortable. Now we're kicking off the interior with the third row. Usually not the most comfortable, but over here, I'm a 5'9" individual, pretty on the wide side though. And I'm actually comfortable. I got 38.1 inches of leg room. It's very good in this segment. I found this interesting. I have a night shade here, even for the third row. That is an optional feature. I have two USB-C. I have two cup holders. There's room for three back here, but not three of me, because I would definitely be bumping elbows. But two individuals like myself can be comfortable, because this also reclines. So I have a tab over here that I can just press and go forward and back a little bit more, so I can be almost in nap mode by having my sunshade up, my phone connected and charging, some headphones as well, because I can actually listen into watch a movie. I'll show you the screen up front there, but you got lots of things connected. You got headphones you can connect with cabin talk. So the Honda Odyssey also has cabin talk, a feature that can use either the speakers or you can use the plug-in headphones. Pretty snazzy. And I also have my own ventilation here. Controls though belong to the second row, which I'm going next. Now we're in the second row, and this is where it's at. This is where you can really manage the space well, and they really did a really good job. The Honda Odyssey does very well in this segment. From the start is legroom. I got 40.9 inches of legroom. I enjoy as much comfort back here as the Masters in the front. So this is where you're going to want to put your teenagers, because also if you have some of these lengthy, tall teenagers, lots of headroom as well. I'm only 5'9" for reference, but yeah, also controls. I like the, powered opening and closing never gets old. I don't care how long minivans have had it. I have my own ventilation, but also I have the HVAC controls up here. I do not have heated outboard seats, so that's a little bit of a bummer. Still have a sunshade, just like the peasants in the back enjoy. And door fabric, I mean, it's plastic. It's plastic, and I couldn't care less. Why? Because I'm a dad, and if my kid is back here, I want something easy to clean, and the plastic is definitely it. So I do not mind that it's hard plastic. You definitely have some storage down here. I got cup holders galore. So I got two over here in the front. I got one over here that is a little bit snug, but it does fit my sports bottle. And I have three here, but only two that fit the sports bottle. So, but a Timmy's cup, hot chocolate, apple juice, whatever you have, it'll fit just fine. I also have some extra storage here. I have USB-C connectivity. I can also recline while I can watch a movie. Can you believe that? How great would have road trips been If we would have had that growing up, imagine a road trip with your PS5 back in the day. No complaints for Dad. How long is the trip gonna be? No, you're not gonna hear that. Also, you can put this up, and I have room for 3 full-grown people here, and with the leg room that we have and the flat floor, I don't think it would be an issue. I also like that these armrests are there. It's pretty good. They're on both sides of these the main chairs here, which you can actually slide in any configuration. And actually, just for fun, I picked up my son from school, and I took everything out except for one of these chairs. With the magic slide, I slid it in the middle, and I kind of had like a throne kind of stuff. So basically, I had lots of space to throw his backpack and his lunchbox from school, and he was loving it. He thought, kids love minivans. He also loves the Bronco Raptor, but still, they love the minivan because of everything you see here, from reclining, being comfortable, leg room, TV, anything that's cool like that, they're gonna love. Now let's see how much cool stuff you get as the driver in the front. All right, it's time to address your needs, the pilot of this vessel. You do get a sunroof, so for you in the front, you get a sunroof, and this is where the material starts being nicer, because hopefully you don't make a mess as much as your kids. So we got some soft fabric over here, this being the top trim, the black edition. Now let's start with what comes standard from the base trim, which for us in Canada is the Sport. So you do still have that, 9-inch display. You get a moonroof standard, yeah. Power adjustable and heated front seats for you and the passenger. Heated steering wheel. Now, if you go up to the Sport L, that's where you start getting into this nicer fabric of the black appearance package and the leather interior. From the Touring and up is where you start getting really fancy. So you get the acoustic glass, not just in the windshield like you do on the other trims, but you get the rear and the side glass as well. So a little bit more soundproofing there. You get parking sensors, you get hands-free tailgate opening, you get the rain sensing wipers, you get the rear seat monitor, so and you can have the navigation as well. You get ventilated seats, and you get the hotspot capability, but that's for the high end. I personally prefer the Sport L trim, just because you still can have a nice interior, a nice exterior as far as the black appearance package as well. And you still have, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You still have all this stuff here, the nice buttons and drive mode. Nothing really is going to change. The connectivity is not going to change, except for that 12-inch over there back there is an add-on. So let's get right into this. So you got a 7-inch driver information cluster over here that's digital, and the other one is analog. That's a little bit, I couldn't care less personally. I have all the information I need from my trip and everything. But right next to it, I also have toggles for door openings, and I can turn it on and off. I have it off, so if I don't want anybody else to press the buttons. I got my hatch opening, my heated windshield, my parking brake, and everything's kind of there. Everything is nice and functional as far as buttonry goes. I love the door that has 2 levels of storage in there, as well as a cup holder that I can put. If I don't want to use my Timmy's cup over here, I can put it over to the side here. No problem. It holds it. And I do have my cup holders here. Steering wheel does feel a little bit on the thin side, which is, I guess, is good news if you have smaller hands. I would like it personally to be a little bit thicker. I have the buttons right here, so I do have my advanced cruise control, my lane keep assist, and everything, and it all works fairly well, especially on a long road trip. Honda does very well with the Honda senses and all that stuff, security features. They pretty much all come standard, except for the pedestrian ones, pedestrian warning and such. Digital display here, I mean, you're not going to get like 4K resolution on this, but you still have some decent size icon. It does have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. That's standard, and it goes very well with the wireless charger that's down here next to the cup holders. And this is where it gets really kind of like tricky because you got that piano key type of shifter. I think it's fine for this segment, especially, you know, everything's well laid out and everything. But what I do love is buttons for everything. So you have your drive modes here, economy, and snow mode. That's basically your drive modes there. And if you have your sporty mode, I guess if you just press the drive button twice. But I like how everything's kind of toggle, HVAC toggles here, buttons, nothing really over like tactile use or screens. Everything just hard buttons. Also I have this like full wood looking, metallic wood looking thing. I do have some use of piano black, but overall my particular model has some nice soft touch material. Getting a little hot here. Let's turn that heated seat off. And I like this openness, but also functionality of, you know what, I can throw a bag here, or if I want have more storage, I can put it away here. So all my knickknacks and everything can be down there. I talked about the outlet here. So I do have a 115 outlet. I have a 12 volt as well as a USB-C and a USB-A. I addressed the wireless charger here, and down here I do have a storage that I can just, that's my HDMI cable to connect to PlayStation. Always going to need this. And I have a removable shelf here that can access even a deeper storage. I have my HDMI connection here and another USB-A connection. So all in all, it's open, it's spacious, there's extra storage that slides in and out. Leg room, like I said when I was back there, it is 40.9 inches. It's definitely enough. And if you want to know how it drives, well, that's where I'm going next. Time to show you what it's got. So I'm going to use this piano key shifter right here. Let's go, let's go into sports mode and show this acceleration. Now, I do have some loose gravel and sand on the road because, you know, winter's still kind of here, and that's what they use instead of salt. Cheap. But all right, let's kick it right into gear, come to a stop, and go. Oh yeah, definitely some spinning. Definitely kicks up some dust back there. Oops. All right. Let's come to another stop. I'm gonna try to accelerate a little bit more smoothly this time. Oh God. You guys hear that? That's a minivan. All right, let's go back to drive, normal drive. That is a minivan revving like a highly powered performance SUV. That's what it sounds like to me. And I just drove the Explorer ST last week, so I know what I'm talking about, kind of. Lots of spin. Okay, I'm gonna try to ease up. I think it's easy, pony, easy. Those 280 ponies are just really want to go. They really want to go. So let's get, I talked about when you get to the top trim or from touring it up, you get the acoustic glass, so more soundproofing. And that's what you're going to get from touring it up. It's a little bit more quiet of a ride. Now, one caveat to that, and oh yeah, we got time, especially in this van. Making it 0 to 60 in 6.4 seconds, is it? Oh my God. How does that belong in a minivan? Kids, hold on. But yeah, so one thing I did notice about the soundproofing is that if you are in a gravel road or in a road where they threw gravel on during the winter and stuff, the undercarriage isn't as insulated as much as it would be for an SUV. An SUV sits a little bit higher. This has more of a lower, obviously lower clearance, which is great for, you know, ease of access, getting in for your kids and everything. My kid, he falls out of SUVs when I have him. He's clumsy, but in the minivan, he has no problem. But yeah, I'm just saying that you're gonna hear some noise if you go on a gravel road, right? But on the highway, shouldn't be any gravel, and soundproofing very, very good. Now, this does not have 360-degree camera, so that's kind of a bummer. So you just have that rear camera view, and then you have parking sensors in the front all around, but you don't have 360-degree camera, which for a vehicle this size, I would have expected or definitely appreciated, especially in that price point, right? So that's one of the things. But overall comfort, I have my armrest down here, and I'm just gonna kick it up though. And for long drives, I would take the armrest and I would just rest my arms, use the cruise control, and I would be very happy. Now, Car and Driver did say that they were able to get 28 miles per gallon, which equals up on the highway for their highway test, the real life test, which equals up to 8.4 liters per 100 kilometers. Okay, I was not getting that, but well, that sucks. I was not getting 8.4 liters per 100 kilometers on my highway drive. I was getting closer to 9.5 liters, but perhaps I drive a little bit more aggressive, and it's not my fault. There's a super powerful V6 underneath this. I blame it on that. So to conclude the driving portion of this Honda Odyssey, is it drives really well. Cornering though, I mean, it got a bit of a soft suspension, but I don't get much body roll as I'm zigzagging here on the road. It actually, it handles like a car. Just think of it like a very long car that has, you know, a lot of headroom as well. So, but it doesn't feel like it would roll over on me very easily. It feels very stable. Feels like it has more than power than it should. Yeah, it feels like I have more power than it should. And visibility is really good. As long as those sunshades aren't up, I can see that would bother me, especially not having 360-degree camera and you have sunshade. But the mirrors are a very good size, and I could actually feel comfortable towing a trailer with this mirror. Not a very long trailer, but something standard, right? Now let's go park this before I get pulled over, and we can talk about competitors and sum it all up. So now I'm going to try to sum it all up for you guys. I'm going to do my best. But I did talk to you guys about competitors, so I'm going to start there, right? So Toyota Sienna and the Chrysler Pacifica both have hybrid option, and the Pacifica has a plug-in hybrid option, right? So for fuel economy, this is probably not the one you're going to look at. This is the one that's going to beat them a little bit on legroom, storage, and as much as Toyota is known for reliability, nothing's more reliable than a good old naturally aspirated V6, right? Because when you go hybrid, you have two different kind of powertrains, right? So the Honda Odyssey doesn't have that availability, and it also doesn't have all-wheel drive. So if you need electric or hybrid and you need all-wheel drive, just keep on scrolling to the next ones. But if you want something that's potentially going to be pretty reliable, now JD Power has this in second place for overall reliability in this segment. That's not too shabby, right? So, and I think price-wise, if you stick to, you know, the Sport L, which is what I would personally take, it's not that bad. For $55,000, you get so much cargo space. You get a nice interior as far as the front goes anyways, and you get so much utility out of it. But fuel economy is not the best, but power is one of the best. This has had lots of power. So if you're a dad that still has lots of kids and lots of room, you know, you got all these hockey trips, but you still like to drive it like you stole it, which I don't know where that saying came from, because if I stole a car, I'm going to drive it like that according to the speed limit, because I don't want to get busted. But anyways, if you like to drive a little bit more hard on the gas, then yeah, power, this has it. Cargo, this has it. Towing capability, yeah, it is 3,500 pounds of towing. Yeah, it's got that too. It just doesn't have the all-wheel drive, and it doesn't have the electric capability that other manufacturers are offering at that point. But I think that's going to be coming. But for this one, it's not. Did I overall enjoy this vehicle? Yes. Did my kid enjoy it a lot more? Absolutely. He loves this, and I'm pretty sure your kids are going to love it too. Maybe not the teenagers that like the cool-looking SUV, but like I said, if you stay mid-level trim for $55,000, you're not going to get a cool-looking SUV that has anywhere near as much functionality or anywhere near as much versatility and features, really. So, yeah, this one's not $55,000. It's Black Edition, but the Sport L, that would be my pick. I want to hear from you guys. Why are you shopping around for a minivan? Why are you considering a minivan over a SUV, for example? Is price factor, is fuel economy a factor? Personally, I don't think a lot of SUVs have pretty good fuel economy these days. I think the overall reason to go for the Honda Odyssey is really have to do with, well, the sliding doors are pretty cool, but everything else it offers, from the space and how to access it. And I mean, 38 cubic feet with all the seats up, that's pretty darn good to me. I'll check in with you guys later.